Hey guys, Ningen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today we are going to talk about the new stuff that is coming to Global in the next few days. We should get an official announcement of the celebration in the news probably tonight. If we do, I will do a quick video going over all of the stuff that gets announced. But we do know some things specifically from stuff that has appeared in the news and from the data miners as well because of the data download. So on the screen you are seeing the April Fool's card for this year. I have seen a clip on Twitter. There's like a racing intro thing. They always do that weird thing where they pretend that Dokkan is changing into a different type of game. So obviously last year we had the 8-bit characters. And this one is racing themed, and we get this Bulma on her capsule motorbike thing. So she is a free-to-play unit, basically only really going to be useful on the Dragon Ball Saga team or Seekers of the Dragon Balls that are very sort of based around those characters. Because there are some weird outliers on Seekers of the Dragon Balls, but her leader skill kind of pointless because obviously the free-to-play LR, Goku and Arale that lead that team have a better leader skill than that. She does do supreme damage. She raises attack and defense by 41% for 4 turns. That's actually decent. 41% is pretty good for 4 turns as well. So that will stack a few times. Then she gets attack and defense 41%. That is obviously a little bit lower, but it contrasts against that. She has a high chance of evading enemies' attacks, which is 50%, right? Yep, so 50% chance to dodge. Then she gets an additional attack and defense 81% and key plus 9, which is very random for a non-LR, because that's obviously guaranteed super even with only 3 key, let alone the starting 6. When there is an ally whose name includes Goku Youth attacking in the same turn. So really she's going to be best on his team with him on the rotation, so that is probably the video I will do to show her off once we do get her. So on Peppy Gals, Dragon Ball Seekers, Youth and Dragon Ball Saga. Obviously on Peppy Gals she's never going to get this, so she's probably not great there. She does at least go to UR, so she does have hidden potential, and then according to this, she does require her own orbs, so we are all going to get to rainbow her for free. And then of course the already existing free-to-play farmable Bulma can be used to raise her super attack. So we're both getting that, both versions, for April Fool's Day. And then of course we have had in the update for the news, the Android 13 banner is coming. I'll be interested to see if this one changes because it wasn't that long ago that we had Piccolo. But the featured units are of course Android 13, this new Trunks, Piccolo, who will, if he is still on the banner, which I assume he will be his first return since he came out on Global, MVP 17, Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Turles and Jiren, kind of random. Actually, is Jiren in Target Goku? No, he's not, because they're all extreme. So, yeah, I don't know why he's on here. I guess it's kind of relevant, because he's Goku's main adversary at the end of Super, but still, very weird. So, let's have a quick look at the units. I don't know if the banner will change. Obviously, there's been banner changes all over the place for Global, but then the Cooler banner did not change, and of course, the Bardock banner was the same for both versions. So, I get a feeling from looking at the units that are on here that it probably won't change. I don't have the Piccolo. I've got pretty much everyone else rainbowed, so I'm not sure how good this banner is for me. So let's have a look at the new units. So obviously we have Android 13. He is the target Goku or Androids category leader. He's got a decent leader skill for Androids, I guess. Target Goku is a very weird category that I'm sure you've already seen people talking about from when it came out on JP. It's like Androids plus a few other weird units. But he is a decent unit, so he's a very weirdly set up unit because he does immense damage, greatly lowers defense, medium chance to stun, which is decent, but he gives himself a reasonable attack and defense boost, but then he's an Androids category support unit, so 2 key and 30% attack and defense, just like Cooler, so untransformed, he's really good to support on his team. Attacks are guaranteed to hit, so I guess it's only really useful against the end of the Legendary Goku event. And then transforms when conditions are met. So the conditions are another 2 or more Android category allies on the team, and it happens automatically on turn 5. So you can't, unlike Cooler, you can't stop him from transforming, and then of course he becomes not a support unit. And it's very difficult, I would imagine, to run target Goku. Well, there's a lot of LRs on there, but You could run Target Goku without 2 android allies, but then he only supports androids, so it is pointless to do that, because if you want him to stay as a support unit, he only supports android category allies. So once he transforms, I do like the art for this like fusion android 13, it's pretty good, but he does immense damage, still has the medium chance to stun. He gives himself 3 ki and the 130% attack and defense still, so he'll have no problem super attacking. And then he gets an additional attack and defense 13% per target Goku ally on the team with no cap. So if you have a full target Goku team, then you're looking at what, 91%, including both leaders. So that's a pretty good buff overall. And then attacks are guaranteed to hit and disable enemy's guard, which is pretty good. And then a 100% chance to crit when facing an enemy whose name includes Goku. So he's going to be really good on the legendary Goku event. But yeah, he's not bad. He's no Cooler though. That's the only problem. It's the kind of the way he was looked at by the JP player bases. He came out after Cooler, and Cooler is just better in like most respects. Obviously, Cooler being super effective as he is with his abilities against all Pure Saiyans and all Hybrid Saiyans rather than just Goku. And then the like attacks guaranteed to hit isn't exactly the craziest thing in the world. And then of course we got the target category. Let's have a quick look at it. So Baby's obviously pretty good, quite underrated. Tech LR Broly's on here. Of course the Brolys are on here, the OG ones. I'm pretty sure the new one is not. No, so Dragon Ball Super Broly's not on here. Frieza and King Cold. Everyone else seems kind of in place here. So I know there's a lot of complaints about this category, as there is with all the categories when they come out, about units that should be on certain ones and who shouldn't. Controversial opinion. I know a lot of people are saying that they think Zamasu should be on this category, but I don't, personally. Like it says here, characters whose main goal was to eliminate Goku. So Zamasu's main goal was to destroy all the mortals. He just chose Goku as a target to steal his body, because he knew he was powerful from that time that they sparred. So his target wasn't Goku. He just used him as a tool, as an extra objective, I guess, along the way. So, but there's definitely units you think could be in here and some that aren't. I'm not going to do a huge deep dive on the category itself. It's got some decent units, but it does feel like a kind of pointless category. He's a decent like fill-in androids leader, but there's so many of those as well that I don't really know if he's going to be that good. But then the other new unit on the banner is the new physical base form Trunks. So he's got a kind of pointless leader skill. I guess he's like another nuke leader for the punching bag thing, but yeah, it's kind of pointless. Super attack, massively raises attack for 1 turn, causes supreme damage while sacrificing 5 HP. So he's kind of like a Kaioken Goku sort of deal. Attack and defense 100%, an additional attack 100%, but defense minus 50% when performing a super attack, and then chance of performing a crit plus 7% with each attack received. So he can get a free up to 35% chance to crit just from taking hits. The only problem is after supering he does lose a lot of defense, so he'd be pretty good in the first slot if there were only attacks like in front of him, and then none after he attacks. Because sacrificing 50% of your defense is quite a lot. But I have seen some decent screenshots of this guy, even at 55%. He can hit pretty hard, so he's pretty decent. And then, of course, he does go into the general pool after this. Technically, on this Android 13 banner, Raditz should be available as well from the Bardock banner having gone. So these kind of units are never the ones like worth chasing in a new banner. So then we also get this new story event, the Android 13 story. There are, what, 6 stages, so you'll be able to get like 12 stones, a couple of extra ones from missions. So just a few stones here and there, and then you can farm up this free-to-play Android 14 and 15. They are the mini target Goku leader, only 50%. With the variation on this team, where did I put it? There you go. You could probably make something way more like, I mean, this Frieza's on here. So extreme types 120. Like if you don't have a target Goku leader yourself, just use this Frieza and then use a friend 13. But they will be pretty decent. So the leader skill obviously not the best, but they do supreme damage and lower attack, which is good. Attack and defense 70%, then an additional 70%, and seize enemy super attacks for the rest of the battle when your team has Android 13 attacking in the same turn. So what this means, as long as you get an Android 13 on turn with them once, and only once, you can split them up after that, you can then see the enemy super attacks for the rest of the battle. So that's really, really good, especially if you think about something like the legendary Goku event. Super, super useful. And then they reduce damage received by 30% and all allies attack and defense 30% when your team has Fusion Android 13 attacking in the same turn. So really, you do want to run them together. That's once he's transformed. So this happens first, and then it lasts for the whole of the rest of the battle, which is awesome. And then once he transforms into the actual Fusion Android 13, they get damage reduction and are an attack and defense support unit. So they're actually really, really good for Android 13's team. Like I said, even if you don't pull him and you run a substitute leader, these guys are actually really good. So they don't have their own orbs. They are a normal farmable unit, but I would say they probably are worth the physical orbs if you want to use them. And then of course on the Android team, they are still going to be very good, especially because we had the easy A's for the 2 other Fusion Android 13s. So you'll miss out on this first ability, but you could run them on a Fusion team with this guy, and then they would be a support unit, which would be pretty decent. And then we do have also, there is going to be a TUR Awakening using the medals from the Dokkan event for the STR Android 13 from the barbershop. He's pretty decent. He's really good against adult Gokus, Vegetas and Teen Trunks. So we might have to see how good he is in the old mono SBR, because a lot of those fights we're going to come across all of those enemies. So he's probably going to be very, very good there. He's got much better damage reduction than he did before, as well as a very good attack and defensive buff when you are fighting those particular enemies. And he works super well alongside the free-to-play one as well. So he should be a pretty decent free-to-play option. His leader skill, still pretty terrible though. So that's all that we know for definite. Now obviously I have seen a few things on Twitter, so just this part is more of like rumoured than 100% confirmed as far as I know. But PLAF Trove tickets for Android 13 are likely going to be a thing. We don't know yet whether that's going to be the Namek Goku style, where there's like 3 packs of 5 summons, like, well, a 5 unit summon, or the one that we had for Cooler and the LR Full Power Freezer, where it's like 1 multi for 20 units with like 3 guaranteed SSRs. Either way, I think it's kind of worth it, but it depends which way they decide to do it. And then of course we have seen a thing already saying that the celebration is going to be 2 parts, which would make sense because we all know from the timeline from JP, because it is tied to this movie, the LR Spirit Bomb Absorbed Goku comes out, which was a double rates banner on JP. So honestly for me, the 13 banner is kind of a skip, but the double rates LR banner is going to be really good. But I will do a more detailed video about the banner and the upcoming double rates banner separately. So I just wanted to put this out there to go over all the new units that we know that we're getting, and then of course tonight, if we do get the news update, I will post a video with more updates. So let me know what you guys think. Are you going to summon for Android 13? I know some people, I think I've already said they'll probably grab the PLAF tickets if they are a thing and then not use any stones, which does make sense. I might do the same thing, honestly. It kind of depends. We'll obviously have to see if they change the banner as well, but that's something we won't find out from the news update, because they always post the mini image of the banner, which will have 13 and the new Trunks, and it won't show the full banner art, so we won't be able to see any immediate changes, probably until the banner actually drops. So let me know what you think and what your guys' plans are down below in the comment section. That is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord. The link is in the description below. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.